Hey, what's up? It's Greg from Fisherman's Headquarters, and today is Monday, December 5th. Up here taking a stroll on the north end of Long Beach Island. Here about 2 o'clock. We've got low tide. I guess it was around 11 o'clock-ish time frame, 11 to 12. High tide, I think, was like 5, or going to be around 5:15. So right now we have incoming tide here on the beach. Right after, I guess we have sunset about 4:30. So you have incoming tide right into sunset and into dark. So far today, I have not heard any reports off the surf here in LBI, but the last few days have been pretty decent. We've had some decent fishing here on the beach, and also some pretty good fishing in the boat as well. Boats fishing out of Barnegie Light, fishing in the northern waters of Ocean County, have also been doing very, very good. If you haven't kind of followed along the reports all season, we've had a really, really good, solid fall bite just about the entire stretch of it. Right now, there's an abundance of, say, some small to medium-sized fish, with also some really good fat quality, better sized fish peppered in. Some really good quality fish actually popped up last couple days. Definitely, like I said before, there's abundance of some smaller fish, more of the schoolies, say under the slot range, even bonus tag sized fish. Got out a little bit last night, made some casts, actually dropped the fish. Had a couple bumps. It was a slow night for me, throwing some plugs off the beach. Haven't really fished the beach much at all, but it was such a beautiful night. Decided to head up to the beach with a friend. Dante invited me to go. It was kind of like nagging on me. I knew I was fishing today on the boat, but I was like, you know, it's such a beautiful night. Let me go put a couple hours in. So stoked to walk the beach, fish some beautiful waters, beautiful cuts up here on the north end of LBI. There's actually beautiful water down where I live too, by the Acme. Haven't really spent much time on the south end, but I know there was some fish down there a few days ago. But you'll see if you take a stroll through Love Ladies and Harvey Cedars. That's where I fished last night. There's some beautiful cuts. Some jetties are starting to pop in, poke out with the erosion that we've had from the recent blows. You see behind me, it's a beautiful day today. Very, very mild. Looks like this entire stretch here is going to be pretty mild this entire week. Maybe, I think it's going to be in the mid 50s, the low 50s. Definitely mild for early December, but it's great to have these conditions. Sunny day today, almost no wind. Took advantage of that, no wind today on the boat. Got in some good fish on the fly. I think I had 5 or 6 fish in a short amount of time. I didn't get out there until about 10 o'clock. Had some obligations in the morning, but got in some good quality fishing. Kind of try to stay as best I could away from the boats and just mark the fish and wait for them to come up, be real patient. The run and gun style of fishing works, but I just kind of had enough of it for the year. Just kind of get run over and everybody's kind of zigzagging over top of each other. So my technique has been really to mark the fish, kind of figure out where that body of fish is and which direction they're moving, kind of stay there and be patient, wait for them to come up. And it's worked really, really good for me. Catching fish on shads, dropping them down in spoons, dropping them down when you're marking them pretty good. Also fishing the vibes, the smaller vibe. I forget what model it is, but it's 120 or 130, something like that. Maybe it's the 90. I don't know, whatever. It's a smaller vibe. It's perfect match to hatch peanut bunker size. Dropping them down and kind of vibrating them, kind of jigging them, and you go brr, brr, brr. Something very unique lure. If you've never tried them out, the vibe from Nomad's awesome. We got them in stock right now at Fisherman's Headquarters. Check them out. Bucktail's also working, but Yozuri twitch baits are definitely a standout for me. Also, the Yozuri mag dive I mentioned many times over the season, been a standout for me. The smaller dock, the larger dock, when the bigger baits are around, they've been working really good. I know store staffer Max has been putting a hurt on every trip out with the big docks. Some of the local fishing taking place has been really, really good. Nothing short of phenomenal. Really world-class striped bass fishing we've had here in recent weeks, really all fall. We'll just definitely want to share. There are fish in LBI. I mentioned last night I was fishing. I lost a fish that was hooked up. I only put in maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. I was fishing with my buddy Dante. Dante had a couple nights back. He actually had a dozen or so fish, fishing some cuts. Something that surprised me is he told me, you know, hey, I was catching a lot of fish. I didn't see one other truck around, not one person walking around. Last night saw one other angler. It turned out to be Paul from the shop. I think he got a fish, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong. I know he's been catching a few fish. I think yesterday earlier in the day he had some good action. As I walk the beaches here, as you can see behind me, yeah, there's nobody. Go walk this way. Yeah, there's nobody. So if you want to take a walk and stroll on the beach, or you're going to drive the beach with 4-wheel, kind of get some peace and quiet, some good outdoor times. Long Beach Island beaches are empty. For sure, the fishing reports and the fishing isn't as hot and as, say, on fire as it is up to the northern beaches. But that's kind of how LBI always is. There's less anglers fishing, less anglers being reported. There's definitely less bait here. I will say the bait was stretched out today pretty good when I was in the boat. Most of it was out in the 30 to 40 foot range though. I really don't like to get up real tight to the beach unless I really have to. Try to give those surf casters their space. But as I mentioned, LBI has fish. As I stroll here, there's actually see a little pocket of fish there. Looks like that might be some little peanut bunker getting kind of pushed around a little bit. There's definitely some sand eels showing up. So as far as updated report, I could say heard from a couple customers, also a couple store staffers that reported some sand eels. Those would be fish that they're catching, releasing when they're on the beach, taking the hook out, spitting up a couple little sand eels. Heard very, very small sand eels, 3-inch size, not the big mondos sometimes you see. Be interesting to see how this plays out, see what happens. The way the LBI is lined up with some shallower shoals and shallower sandbars, stretched out beaches here. The sand eels are much, much better for us by far than to other ones. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but back over there is that little bird play I was just mentioning. Some little birds kind of getting on the little baits. It's definitely hit and miss, kind of flares up, flurries, and moves quick. That's kind of how it's been. I guess yesterday and a couple days, it's been full on mayhem with just Armageddon, birds everywhere, dropping and picking and fish rolling and stuff like that. So hopefully you get in that action. If you haven't, there's still a whole lot of fall fishing to go here in the Ocean County waters, whether you're fishing LBI or Island Beach State Park, even the waters north of there, or even south of there. Heard of definitely some fish on LBI here. Like I said, the last couple of days has been some better uptick in action. As you see, the water is beautifully clean right now. A lot of times when the water's clean, the fish like to kind of cruise in along the suds. We got a little bit of white water trickling along. As you can see, I'd say it's maybe 1 to 2 foot at most. The swell definitely dropped out yesterday a lot. But last night, I was kind of surprised at how big the swell was. It was definitely probably in the 2 to 3 foot range of waves coming in. But I was just getting out there, fishing some smaller lures, fishing some lures with teasers. I wouldn't have said that, say, a week ago, but with these reports of some sand eels coming around, today I actually saw some really small bait. I don't know what it was. I thought maybe bay anchovies, but man, I thought they were long gone, but maybe they're not. Fishing some small stuff. I got some really good action on the fly today, fishing some small flies, fished some bigger streamers too, but I'd say like that 4-inch fly was really good to me. Fishing a teaser, whether it is in front of, say, a diamond jig, whether it's in front of a shad, which is going to cast very poorly, but a diamond jig is going to get you that long distance. Maybe a Hopkins or a Castmaster. Castmaster may be one of the most underrated lures right now when there's peanut bunker around. Castmaster's a little bit shorter, a little bit fatter profile, gets up in the water column. You can cast it like a rocket, but when you get that resistance from the water, it's going to plane up a little bit more. It's definitely not going to run the bottom like a diamond jig would. You can put a teaser up ahead of that. It's a very good way to present a small lure, small fly presentation out a good distance. Another lure I could say fish is the smaller SP minnow, the size 13. The 15's kind of been the staple for many years. The 17's the larger size, but the 13 is a really, really good size. Fish the floating 13. That's 130 millimeters, 13 centimeters. That's where the number comes from. That's Daiwa SP minnow. Last night, because of a full moon, black seemed to be the one. I couldn't get a bite on white. Maybe other people fished last night and got bites on white, but I wasted probably an hour of my night fishing a white needle, a short stubby needle. Wasted a while fishing a bone mag darter, put on that black SP minnow, the smaller size, and boom, boom, boom. Had a couple hits right away, dropped them, and I had one fish, like I mentioned, hooked up and pulled off, shook me right in the wash. That was really the first time I surf fished in quite some time. So I was surprised and stoked to get a couple bites after I put a couple hours in. Hopefully you guys are getting out there and getting in the action. I know I had some phenomenal days in the boats recently. This fall has been one to remember, November to remember for sure. And I'm got my fingers crossed that December is going to be just as good. Like I mentioned before, we got mild weather this week. We got some good expectations. Plenty of fish here, large biomass of striped bass here in all different size ranges, from schoolies to middle class slots and to even the overs, and some really good classy trophies too. Get in the fishing now while it's good. Have some fun. If you need some help, stop by Fisherman's Headquarters, get geared up. We're open 7 days a week, open year round. Love to help you out, whether you're looking for new rods, new reels, new tackle. Maybe just looking to get some help with the problem you have. Maybe it's a reel repair, rod repair. Maybe you got line issues. Maybe you just want to stop by and say what's up. We'd love to have you. Welcome anytime. Like I mentioned, open 7 days a week, located in Ship Bottom, right after the first traffic light on the right-hand side. Also check us out, fishermansheadquarters.com. Have a great day.